intently, as he should, and getting ready for the start of this race. Wheel spin will be a problem in the wet, but as you can see, they're all on wet tires because this race will be effectively a wet race. Away we go then, and a good start off the line, certainly from the man in third, a really good start, in fact, from Bacon Zelenka. And away they go. Wonderful close-up shot of how they accelerate away. And the guys in the middle, remember, are getting all that rooster tail of spray at them as before they head into Horseshoe for the first time. And this is where you got to be careful. Your tires may not be up to optimal temperature. It's still wet. You may be on the outside. You may be on the inside. You may not have taken that line beforehand. And so you've really got to be careful about exactly what the situation is underneath you. Do you like racing in the wet? Because you really are almost like ice skating, aren't you?
Oh, I love it. And it's definitely like ice skating. You got to be on the edge of your seat, especially in Formula 3. You got a turbo, so just that that extra little power.
Well, my Siri's talking to me. That's always useful. But away goes Michael Costello through what we call the snake section here at VIR, and a good clean start by our pole man, and already starting to build on that lead, and the field starting to spread out, and the vision must be really tight. You mentioned to me that you like this particular part of the circuit after you get through Snake because you're flat out through here, but this is going to be hard in the wet, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's going to be difficult getting that grip.
Now, coming up to one of the faster sections, and then we slow it right down into what's called the Oak Tree section. And then back onto the back straight. Through goes Jesse Lacey. He's had a good season, has Jesse, in 8th position, just ahead of Luciano Martinez in 9th. Titus Sherlock 7th at the moment. Carl Bennett 6th. Alex Berg slots into 5th. Augusto Soto Schripa just ahead of him in 4th place. Nice overhead drone shot, getting to see this VIR circuit, which is really a magnificent circuit to go to. Paul Newman described it as heaven on earth. The great Paul Newman, who, yeah, he did a bit of acting, but actually we think of him as a racing driver. And he definitely was a very good one indeed. But already, right out front, you can see how he's slipping and catching the car. I always like to watch the hands. You can tell more about how comfortable a racing driver is by watching his hands than her hands than anything else, because it really is how in control of the car you are. So then, this is going to be 23 minutes, a feature race. They've got 3 each weekend, and I think the other good thing about this series, remember, this is, if you like, the first ladder towards FIA super license points, and if you are trying to make it into Formula One, this is where it all begins. They talk about drive to survive. Well, that all begins here, and we're under safety and under caution and under the safety car again. And I guess now it's a chance to catch your breath and go, right, what's wrong with the car, or what did I do wrong, or where am I, who's behind me, who's in front?
Exactly. It's just kind of also feeling the track and seeing where is starting to dry, it looks like. So just trying to see what the track kind of looks like. So. But
it's a nervous time as well. I was talking to a couple of drivers about how, you know, it looks as though you're resting behind the pace car, but that's far from it, because this is when, I mean, you might be happy having a catch of breath and go, okay, I've done a lap and I know what the conditions are now. But the car doesn't like this. The car is now cooling down or heating up in different ways. But the tires are now, you know, not going as hot as they are. The cool conditions the brakes won't like that. The engine, though, is not getting the air to it that it wants. So, you know, you've got to kind of work with the car to make sure it's happy for a restart, haven't you?
Yeah, you gotta really, because the safety car goes slow, so it's kind of, you gotta just make sure the tires are up to temp. As you can see, they're weaving a lot.
Yeah, and the man who made the most of the start was Soto Schripa in the 24. Brilliant start by him, and he is up to, what, 2nd place. Woods Toth dropped to 3rd, having started 2nd. Zelenka dropped as well. He's 4th. Alex Berg 5th. Then Sherlock, Martinez, Kera, Lacey. Now, Juanio, is that right? Juanio? Yes, Juanio, that's it. I'm getting it.
I'm guessing
You're
it's
nodding,
right.
I'm saying Juanio. Durst, Wisniewski. Now, Wisniewski I've been watching for a while. He wasn't old enough to do this F4 championship last year. So he did a little bit of junior practice in the SVRA, a great little option for him, just to learn the car. And so out of harm's way, as it were, or not in the fray of the full championship, he was able to learn his way, a bit like you with the testing. You know, you need that. You don't need to be under pressure the whole time. To learn, you need time, don't you?
Oh yeah, a lot of time. But it's definitely great to have to go to race weekends, because you learn so much more from race weekends, especially because you're under so much more pressure and stress, and you're also learning from other drivers. When you're testing, you are learning from other drivers, but you're kind of on your own more.
Yeah. Well, no question. That's one of the big parts of both FR and F4 is that you get something in the region of 3 hours on track at each weekend of racing, and that is a lot of time. You get practice, testing, then qualifying, and then 3 half-hour races roughly. And so there's a lot to be done in that time, and that really does. Do you walk away from the weekend sort of exhausted with your head full of information?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You just go straight to bed on the plane.
Yeah, I bet. What's the biggest thing you want to get right that you haven't done yet in FR?
A perfect start.
Okay.
That's probably a main thing.
And as you can see, we've got 2 trucks on track, so somebody has gone off, and that's why we're under caution at the moment. Big field of F4, and of course the opportunity, if you win this championship, to get scholarship into FR. And it's only a few years. We started this back in 2016, and FR, or Formula Regional, F3 as it's known around the world, but the Formula Regional series of the Americas started a little bit later, but we've had some great champions. Dakota Dickerson, now a professional sports car driver, was meant to be here this weekend, but to try the new car out, but couldn't make it. But when you think of Kyle Kirkwood, David Malukas, all these guys have come and started their careers here. Raul Hyman winning the FR championship, now racing in Japan. And so we've had some really good stories. And the idea of this championship was just to get guys into professional racing. Hunter Yaney came through here, now in FIF3. So we've got some good Americans on the way up, and of course Logan Sargent representing us in Formula One. Do you still follow the Formula One?
Oh, of course.
So they are racing at Qatar this weekend, but where do you want to go with this? Do you want to make it all the way to Formula One? Do you want to be the next Jessica?
Of course. I would just love to make it basically to the highest point of racing. It's kind of whatever opportunity comes to you. So, of course, if it's IndyCar or, NASCAR as well, and IMSA, and, just kind of anything that kind of comes to you, because there's so many, racing's all about connections. So, your future kind of is, around opportunities. So.
Well, we've had some great Canadians in the past, and of course we've got one involved in this series in Scott Goodyear, a fantastic IndyCar driver, and I'm very lucky to sit next to him in Trans Am races. He's just across the way there in race control. This is a tough time for him, because obviously he's watching warily as the safety of this race and making sure that everybody remains safe is his main job, but also coaching you guys and helping you guys learn the way. Those driver briefings, they may feel like a bit of school, but you can learn so much.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What about school? Are you managing to keep up with that as well?
Oh, it's difficult for sure. I'm in grade 11, no, sorry. Oh my goodness, I don't even remember what grade I'm in.
That's all right.
I'm in grade 12 on my last year of school, so just trying to finish everything, especially the tests are super hard because I'm never here. So at the end of this month, at the end of October, I'm gone racing in India again for 6 weeks. So, just trying to get all the tests finished before I'm away for so long.
That's pretty intense, too. I do a series in New Zealand at the same time, and they're parallel, if you like, and it's the same sort of cars. And so it's pretty intense because you're racing every weekend.
Yeah, it's hard. I tried last year when I was there, and it's just so hard to be focused at the same time as when you're focused on racing. During the week, we have a week off, so I'm always just focusing on, what I can improve on the track. But I should be looking at school as well. Yeah. So whenever I'm home after a race weekend, I'm always just focusing on school and just trying to get everything complete.
And when you graduate from high school, are you going to try to go to college, or are you going to try to sort of do both?
Well, I haven't really thought of it because.
Well, I'm not putting you on the spot.
There's so much happening with racing, and I don't know if I have that much time for next year to do school and stuff. So just trying to focus on this a lot.
Yeah, it can't be bad saying, hey, I've got to go race and drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do other sports? Do you still do your skiing?
I do, like, as a hobby. I love skiing. I love swimming. We have a swimming pool at home. It's actually the swimming pool that you swim against the current.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah, I know the one you mean.
Yeah, it's perfect. We got it for when I was practicing for swimming, so it's perfect.
What's your stroke?
I love freestyle. I like butterfly as well. It's
tough.
the harder
so
one.
Exhausting, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually great for racing.
Yeah, because it's upper body. Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah,
all shoulders.
it's perfect.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good. I never thought about that. That's a really
Yeah.
good motor racing.
And it's a very simple, like, you don't have to go to the gym. You just go swimming.
Yeah.
So
And actually, it's all, you know, and as cardio and as an overall, you can't get any better than swimming. It really is.
Oh no, it's perfect. And you know, my parents sometimes complain about their backs hurting or whatever, so they just go swimming.
Yep.
And it heals them right away. So it's good for everything.
Yep, I couldn't agree more. We're under caution, and we are in our first feature race of the weekend of 3 for F4. We've also got FR in action. I hope you are enjoying our live stream. We're under caution, but while we are under caution, let me just give you Patrick Woods-Toth of Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport, just as Nicole is with, is 36 points ahead of Michael Costello, the man leading this race under caution at the moment. The gap between them, 36.5 points, and with 25 for a win, it's far from over. 6 races to go, including this one. And then in third place, Titus Sherlock, coming off his first win at New Jersey last time out, as well as a couple of good podiums. So he has also got his tail up. We'll be hearing from him later in the weekend. And Alex Berg also coming off his first win. He's just 2 points behind Sherlock at the moment. So it's tight. And in terms of this weekend, it could prove to be so important. We finished the year off at the Formula One circuit that is the Circuit of the Americas. I bet you're looking forward to going there.
Sadly, you know, I've been planning to go there for 2 years already, and sadly, we're leaving at the end of this month to race.
Oh, to go to India?
Yeah.
Ah.
So sadly, you know, that race in India will be, you know, 5 races, so it will be more.
You're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're doing the right thing.
I've been wanting to go to Coda so badly. It's a very nice track.
Well, just come to the F1 with your mate Lewis.
I wish.
I wish. Get on the phone to Mercedes. They'll get you a pass into Formula One at Austin. No problems.
Oh, I wish.
Be good fun.
Oh, yeah.
Great meeting Lewis Hamilton. For those who don't know, look it up on YouTube. Nicole had a really nice sat-down chat with Lewis Hamilton. And a great opportunity at 17 to meet, you know, the greatest, one of the greats.
Oh, yeah, it was amazing hearing what he had to say and also connecting. Like, we connected at Better Fathers, and then he was surprised because when I'm racing on the West Coast, we always drive from Canada. So we're on the West Coast of Canada, so we're in Vancouver.
Yep.
So we drive 24 hours down to the track usually, and we have, like, a motorhome, and so we just drive to the track. So my parents always switch, so they drive straight 24 hours. And so when I told Lewis this, he was like, oh my goodness, like he used to travel a lot for racing, like with his dad and stuff, but not that much, not that far, because Europe is so small, right? So you got like 1 hour is another country.
Yeah, and we're living in Britain. He grew up in Stevenage, and you know, growing up there, you're 50 miles from probably about 6 or 7 tracks.
Exactly.
Yeah, but a similar story, you know, your parents sacrificing as they have to get you where you want to be. That's what it's all about, and you will, I'm sure, in later days be so thankful. They're here this weekend. I think I saw you with them earlier this weekend.
Yeah, they always come to my race weekends. They can't be at home watching on TV.
Yeah, I bet. I know I've talked to a few mothers, and they prefer to be here than watching on TV, and they find it very tough. When their little girl or little boy is out there, but, you know, mums are mums. My mum worries about me. She'll be tuning in later to watch the Trans Am. She doesn't get up this early. So we're under caution, and it's a long one too. And Nicole, all the things we were talking about earlier about keeping the car in the momentum and in that window, is it hard to do? Yeah,
because it's a really slow pace the safety car goes, so just really keeping the tires up to temp. I'm sure they dropped a little already, so it's very important to focus on that.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see the restart of Augusto Sotoshripa because the man from International Motorsports in 9th position has, 50 points at the moment. He's equal with Jimmy Lockhart, who hasn't done any of the other races since winning twice earlier in the season, so currently 9th in the championship. So a great opportunity for him to move up the board, get ahead of Lockhart, obviously was not here, and catch up with the likes of Hodgson, Cara and Lacey for the overall championship. As you can see, the safety car is off, and we are racing again. They're about to pass our commentary position. Away they go then, down towards Horseshoe, under pressure. Again, Michael Costello as Soto Schreiber looks to the inside, and now goes for the slipstream, and he's trying every which way to have a look, but he's decided to get in there in second place. And hold on, somebody's gone wide. Not quite sure of the number of that one. There's so many different black cars, but oh, somebody spun around. That's the 77, James Lawley spinning round. So that's what can happen at a restart very easily. Whoa, there's cars going everywhere. That's turn 2 into Indy, and so quite a lot of cars. The 83 goes off as well. That's Christopher Parrish. So we got cars everywhere. Yellow flags out. Drama indeed. But that is a classic restart in the wet. Is that sometimes you get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. Sometimes you're just out of position and it all goes horribly wrong. But luckily, I think most of the leaders have got through. I'm just wondering if Soto Schreiber has got the lead here. We're looking at him as we look at this battle for third place. Now, is he leading now?
Yeah, I think Costello
may have gone off, you're right. Yeah. Oh, my word. Big change around then. Soto Schreiber leading this race, and that means Patrick Woods, Toth, Zelenka, and Berg are battling it out. And in fact, it's Berg who's leading this group. Through comes the 27 side-by-side racing, and onto the dirt, onto the nasty part of the circuit for a minute as they go down the back straight, but back to normal now. 9 minutes to go. They don't, once it's a long stop like this, you really don't have this is a real sprint now, 9 minutes. So, drama indeed. Michael Costello, winner of a race and second in the championship, has disappeared, giving the man 9th in the championship a real opportunity to take his first win in F4 in 2023. But now he's got to be careful. Now he's got to hold it all together, and now he's got to think and concentrate. I think the hardest part to me, and I've done a bit of karting, is that your adrenaline is such that it's easy to make mistakes because your mind and your body are just so, I mean, I guess you've learned this from ski racing. You just can't let your emotions get involved or you're gone.
No, you definitely can't.
There he is. Ah, what a shame. Costello. And he's dropped right down, so what a shame. Yeah, you've got to really kind of stay calm.
Oh,
Do you work on it?
Yeah, just, you know, the simulator is actually great practice for that, just to stay calm. And, yeah, because, like, as a restart, you can get really, you know, just kind of build up all the pressure of excitement and just, like, getting back to it. But you got to stay calm.
Yeah, and also you go through a rhythm where you'll do this in a few minutes' time. You'll start to get ready and you go through your rhythm and you prepare and you prepare. And if anybody stops that or changes that rhythm, or there's a delay or something's gone wrong or there's a crash, you know, really you're fighting just to try to stay in your mode, aren't you?
Yeah.
So Soto Schreiber leads this race. Berg is second. Sherlock is now third. Martin is Cara. Woods Toth has dropped to sixth place. It's going to be interesting to see where he pops out, the championship leader, because as we said before, the lead is only 36.5 points. But with Michael Costello obviously dropping down, he's placed in 17th position and some 4 seconds off the lead. So work to do for him. But we're concentrating on Alex Berg. Great kid. Do you know Alex?
Oh, I got a history. I used to race with him in karting.
Ah, right.
Back in the days, yeah.
Good kid?
Yeah, he's nice. Very aggressive driver, in my opinion. But he's a nice kid. Yeah, he's doing really good, actually. It's good for him.
Yeah, he's got a good target on his back because, of course, his dad did a bit of Formula One in his time. Not a well-known racing driver. I don't know how much you know, but you've got a Formula One racing driver in your paddock. In your team, in Roberto Moreno. I grew up watching him making his way through into Formula One. Lovely man.
Oh, yeah, he's very nice. He helps a lot with video and just trying to help us, you know, to work on our driving because he has so much experience, so just really helping.
Yeah, no question about it. Crosslink Kiwi, the most successful team in the USA, hailing from New Zealand, and they will be racing in the Toyota Racing Series yet again this year, where they hope to compete well. And Ryan Sheehan also in that team. We'll see him up against Nicole later in the day. And Callum Hedge, another Kiwi, also racing. But it's 24, Sota Shripa doing the business at the moment. Now, I just wonder how much time and how much relaxation he's having out there, because I doubt it at all that he's relaxing, because he's done an amazing start, the man from Doral, Florida. And again, double yellows because of substance down on the track. And wow, another going off. That's Eric Wisniewski in the 7. So it's slippy in turns, what, 2, 3, and 4, it looks like. Well, that's catching a lot of people out. But Sota Shripa on his way. Oh, and another massive spin. Just touched the rumble strips by the looks of it. That was, I think, was that the 27 that went around? Yeah, Patrick. Was that Patrick Woods' top? It could have been. Look at this, side by side here, action. Martinez and Berg. Berg gets the better of him, and oh, round goes the 91. Martinez was in it until he wasn't. Well, we've had some good racing so far, that's for sure.
Yeah, very entertaining.
Yep, and that's, like you said, that's a tough section, because if you're offline there, you just don't want to be, and they were side by side. So down the back straight they come, and Nicole, I'm going to have you have a look if we get a replay of it and see what you see, because let's take a look at it again. Here's that first spin. So they're side by side here, coming out of 5. Yeah, he just touches there, and as he turns in here, I think he was too close to the back. What do you reckon?
I don't know. It's a
too close to the back of him, I thought.
Yeah, it's a tough one in the S's as well, just getting on the inside, and then, you know, there's so much speed through there. I'm not sure. Yeah,
I think, to me, it looked like that, you know, he was side by side with Berg, and then he realized he couldn't get past him, and then he was almost too close to get round, and he probably dabbed the brakes at the wrong time and just spun him round. That's racing, folks. 3 minutes to go. And delighted to have Nicole alongside me here for this race. She'll be in FR. And if you want to know who she is, look her up. Nicole, Havrda. Havrida? Am I getting it?
Havrda. It's like
Havrda.
It's kind of like there's an E, but there isn't. You know?
Okay, I know what you mean. Havrda. Havrda. I'll get it right. So, best place of 5th so far. Last time out in New Jersey.
Yes, yeah.
That's a good result.
Yeah, it's really good.
Given that the guys have got a lot more time in the car than you.
Well, yeah, a lot of experience, and of course, being the youngest in the FR is definitely a lot to learn for me.
So, plan would be to go to India and then what, another run at FR next year?
Yes, definitely. Unless something else comes up, of course. You know, there are always opportunities on the table, so you will see. And
are you keeping? I mean, obviously, this documentary is coming out February. Are you keeping with Mercedes and trying to keep working with them if you can?
Yeah, we're trying to just keep working with them, and then also getting more opportunities because, you know, racing is kind of more of an entertainment streaming. So it's like, you know, if you can get into like ads or like something with filming, it's always good because, you know, racing is entertainment. So
yeah, it certainly is. And of course, now with social media, people
yeah.
love to see what you're doing, and especially if their lives aren't as perhaps interesting as they want, they love to follow a racing driver or somebody that's doing something dynamic. On that subject, we're under caution, and we may end up under caution for the rest of this race, but give us your social, or give us, where can people find you if they want to follow what you're doing?
Well, my social is nicole.havrda, and then just my website, of course, nicolehavrda.com, and yeah, just feel free to look me up. I do think that social media is a huge part of racing, though, because like a lot of people, some people don't use it to their full abilities, and I think it's a very easy place to, you know, get the following, get more stuff, so it's, yeah.
And if you, I mean, going back to that Lewis interview, you know, he is a massive role model, and but never really kind of looked at himself as that until later in age, because he was always fighting. I mean, you're both in a diverse situation in that women are just making it There's not been that many black drivers in motor racing for a long time. He stole the march and broke the mold, but found it tough. And so, people do look up to that and are inspired by people like him. Do you find that now? I mean, I know I read something that, a little Carter came up to you and said, hey, I'm learning because of you.
Yeah, it was so nice because when I started karting, there weren't many girls at the track, and now when I go back to the kart track, there's so many young girls, and they're like, oh, I started karting because of you, will you give me any tips, and, all these little things, and, it's so nice to see more girls at the track and, like, diversity and changing, and, for Lewis as well, like, it's all changing, and because of Lewis, more race is actually getting into racing, so it's great to see that.
And the more important story is it's not the color of his skin. It's much more to do with the fact that his dad gave up 4 jobs. He hasn't come with a silver spoon. He's worked his way through. And there is no question, it's unequivocal, that Lewis Hamilton can inspire anybody to go motor racing if you dedicate your time and energy. His family did, your family are doing it. And it is that dedication. There's no shortcuts.
100%, yeah.
Well, we're under caution here. Nicole Herverda alongside me, Jonathan Green, and we are watching the first of 3 races in F4. It's been an interesting one, which started off with Michael Costello leading the way from pole position, but the checker flag is out, and that means Soto Schreiber is going to take his first win of the season. Well done to him. Alex Berg will take second place after that dice with the 91 that fell foul for him. And Woods Toff, our championship leader, will take third place. An important podium in this first race. Always a dicey early morning wet race. You just want to come out of it, Nicole, going, right, points on the board or the car's not damaged.
Exactly, because you have another race today and, of course, the big race tomorrow. So.
Let's go back to you. When are you out? When can they see you? The live stream's on. We'll be watching you. Where's your car? Where's your number? Where can they tune in? Now they've got to know you. They want to cheer you on now.
I think I'm racing at 10:30 around that, and just tune in. And it will be on my social media, all my stuff.
Yep.
And my car number is number 6 this year.
Why did you choose that number?
Well, so I was actually number 2 on the West Coast Series, and I've always kind of been number 2, but of course someone took it. So
yeah, of course.
Yeah. So now I'm number 6. I've always liked number 6, but yeah. So my colors are actually the car colors are red, white, and black.
Right, and I know you've got several sponsors, but they're all good, wholesome sponsors like Hardwood. What have you got?
So I got Colonial Countertops and a few more countertop companies, and then.
How did you get those? Is that something you know?
Yeah, that's just. Connections. It's all about
at home, yeah.
who you know.
That's where it starts.
Exactly. And then I got a brokerage company from Ontario, actually. So that one's pretty big. He's trying to help young Canadian drivers. So he's with me. He's got the colors of the cars. So he basically, the livery is his. So yeah, him. And then I got Valley Kitchens, of course, and a few more. So.
Well, good. Well, when you get your first home, you'll be ready to go.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, thanks, Nicole. Nicole Herverda, the number 6 in FR. And where are you starting on the grid?
I am starting 8th.
8th. Okay, cool. What do you hope to finish if it's dry?
I hope a potential top 5.
Okay. Yep. Good aspiration.
Yeah.
Well done, though, to Augusto Soto Schreiber, the man from Florida, doing a great job. And that really is going to move him forward in the championship. I spoke wrong before. He has won 1 race at Mid-Ohio, and this is his 2nd win in the series. There's the results then. Augusto Soto Schreiber with a 2nd win on the year. Alex Berg gets his 2nd win of 2nd podium in as many weeks as, of course, it's been a long time off, but he is back on the podium again in 2nd place. Then Patrick Woods-Toff, the championship leader from Crosslink Kiwi Motorsport, and Canada is 3rd. Cara Huananio in 5th. Titus Sherlock 6th. Hannah Greenmeyer in 7th. That's a good result for her. Another teammate of yours. She'll be happy with that. I would have thought. She's coming to see us later. Tanner DeFribus is in 8th for the J. Howard development team. Martinez dropped to 9th in the end, having battled for top 3 for Scuderia Buell, and then Alex Benavides rounding out the top 10. That's how we finished round 13 here at VIR. My thanks to Nicole Haverda. We'll be hearing and seeing her. Haverda, I'll get it right soon. I'm getting better at it, but I'll be perfect by the time you get to Formula One. Don't you worry. Listen, thanks for coming in. Thanks for your time. I know it was early this morning, but always good to learn a little bit about a young driver coming up, especially as we're celebrating women in motorsport. And I say power to you. Go for it. And show those boys a thing or two.
Yeah, for sure.
Get in the top 5.
Thank you for having me.
Not at all. Not at all. We'll be watching you. Watch out for the number 6. She'll be in action. It's just, a couple of hours from now. But that concludes our coverage of the first race of 3 races in F4. We'll also have 3 races from the FR Championship. They do 2 today and 1 tomorrow. And then they go on to COTA early November with Trans Am yet again. And we'll be seeing them in action once again to round out the championship. And FR is really heating up nicely too. We've got 2 great races, one from Austin, Texas of all places, and so he'll be going home to race the final race. That's Ryan Sheehan in the 66. And then, of course, Callum Hedge, who has been a sensation so far here in America, winning so many races, and a lot of people are looking at him to follow in the footsteps of the likes of Marcus Armstrong and Liam Lawson as the next Kiwi on the way up. We've got so many great Kiwis here, including the GOAT that is Scott Dixon. So if you didn't get the lucky condos and you're staying in a hotel down the road in Danville, that's the place to stay next year if you get the chance. But there he is. There's the celebrations for Augusto. We'll head down and hear from him. Love the lid. Almost Evel Knievel-like with the stars and stripes. I love it. John Phippen will get down there, but as you can see, I'm guessing that's Dad. Great stuff. You can see what it means to the families and the supporters of these drivers. It's very hard. Motor racing's hard when you see the helmets on and it's just cars going around. You don't see the human emotion, but it's there. We were talking about it earlier, weren't we, Nicole? It's, you know, it's a big rush of emotion when you get out of the car like that.
Yeah, especially no one sees under the helmets, so there's definitely a lot of emotion.
And it's a tough job. You work a lot of hours to get to that position as well. I'm guessing that's Mum. Well done. Let's head down now. There's John Phippen. I see him out of the corner of my eye. Let's hear from our winner, the number 24, Soto Schreiber.
Jonathan, we're here with a jubilant Augie Soto Schreiber, his 2nd win on the season. Augie, fantastic race. You started in the 2nd row, but you were like a shot out of a cannon. You got to the lead right away.
Yes, sir. I mean, the team gave me a great car. Just felt confident with what I had. I knew that the key to this was to be consistent and to be smooth and not get crazy. Even if you lost a little bit of time in some part of the track, it's better to keep it on 4 wheels. So we did that, and we took home the W. So we're happy.
You got your first win at Mid-Ohio, which is a track that's really diabolical in the wet. So are you pretty comfortable in wet weather racing?
Yeah. I mean, I think karting helps a lot with that. But of course, I mean, we don't have a lot of time in the car. It's only my 3rd race ever in F4. So, I mean, little by little, I get more used to it. For sure, I could squeeze more out of it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job for the 2nd win of the season, Jonathan.
Thanks, John. Yeah, excellent. Like Mid-Ohio, I misspoke earlier. It was Mid-Ohio. So 2nd win now, a win at Mid-Ohio and a win here in VIR, and a really good one too. He got a fantastic start, and from there on in, with all the cautions and everything, he kept his head and kept going. And Costello went off, and that gave him the chance. So well done to Soto Schreiber. We'll take a short break here from VIR. We'll be right back.
Everything in our garage is inspired by our racing spirit. Race in for a great deal on the Honda CR-V. Only at the Honda Dream Garage Spring Event.